Hi, I'm Bob for Blackmagic, and today I want to take you through DaVinci Resolve and ATEM Replay. So what we're showing today is replay using DaVinci Resolve and an ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the ATEM Mini Extreme software, and on the Output tab, we're going to record, and I have this SSD that's plugged in, so we're going to record to that. We'll call it Replay Demo, and we're going to hit record. And so what we're doing now is it's going to record all of the inputs that we have into the switcher right now. I'm primarily concerned with the 3 cameras of the ice hockey that I have running. So I'm going to go to DaVinci Resolve, and I'm going to import some media into a project, and I'm going to look for the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO, and there it is, and my replay SSD, and it says Replay Demo, and I'm going to come down here to Video, and I'm gonna select these 3 cameras and I'm gonna import them. I'm gonna change the frame rate to match. And all right, what we have now are 3, what we call growing files. So the growing files means that while you're recording, the red dot's there, which means it's still recording, but we can play back the images. The other thing I need to do is make sure that I'm in broadcast for the workspace. I'm gonna come over here and I'm going to turn on the ability to do replay. I'm going to have auto stinger on. I'm going to also add it to my timeline. But first I need to get some more media. I'm going to import additional media. I'm going to come over here to the ATEM stingers, and I'm going to bring these in because these are going to provide the video for my stinger replays. So I have a couple there. So I'll select that one for that bin, that one for this bin, slide this over here. Okay. So now what we have is we have the 3 cameras that are rolling into it, growing files. And now what I've done is I've selected the button here, which gives you look at the ATEM Mini's multi-view. So the multi-view is coming in, so the person doing replay can actually watch the action. And I'm actually going to use the replay editor I have over here and hit full screen. And when I hit full view, now I see it in the monitor. And then I'm gonna put my hand over here because I'm gonna hit set POI, which is point of interest. So I'm gonna see if we can find something interesting. So what I'm thinking is we'll get the puck drop because they're about to start, and we'll go back to that puck drop. And let's see if we can get that. So I'll hit that, boom. So I've hit a point of interest, okay? I'm gonna come out of full view, and I'm gonna come over here to where I select the cameras, and I can show all 3, right? So I have different views, so I'm gonna see these views. Now, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna hit run. So when I hit run, it's gonna take this camera to air, and you're gonna see that on the program output. Boom. So now it's showing that. I can switch to this camera, I can switch to this camera, and then when I'm finished, I hit the dump, and it goes back to live action after doing the stinger. I ran through it very quickly, so let me show you a couple of things and how we're able to do this, okay? I'm gonna go back to the ATEM software to show you something. And what I've done here is, in the ATEM, I'm still recording, right? So I'm still recording those files, which is fine, but I'm gonna show you in the palette menu that on the downstream key, I have key and fill of camera 5 and camera 6. Now, camera 5 and camera 6 are the outputs of an Ultra Studio 4K Mini. So an Ultra Studio 4K Mini attached to my DaVinci Resolve laptop here is providing key and fill for those replays. That's how you get the stinger, that's how you get the transition back and forth. And the technical director doesn't have to do anything. As long as the downstream key is activated as it is right here, as you can see on the software, then we don't have to do anything else as long as you have the key and fill set up. So I have input number 5 with the fill source and input number 6 with the key source. And that's how we're able to get the playback going. So I'm gonna go back to DaVinci Resolve, and here we are again. And I'm gonna go over to the panel and do this quick. I can clear the point of interest, okay? We're gonna go back to live action. So I hit the button there to go back to live action, and now I'm seeing the game, and I see something coming up pretty quickly. It looks pretty good. I'm gonna hit up point of interest there, and we'll see if that resulted in anything. Nope, we're gonna clear that. Nothing good. So we'll keep walking, and we'll find something, and we'll try this down there. There was a shot on goal. We'll take that. All right, so I'm gonna go to run. So I'm gonna take this angle, right? That looks pretty good, I think. So we'll go back, and I'm gonna hit run, and it's gonna run and take the guy coming down, and then I can switch the camera to this angle. I can go back to this angle. I can go over to this angle. And then when I'm finished, boom, he takes the shot, follow up, and I dump back out. Obviously, you're able to do a replay as it's still recording. That's the beauty of it, right? So if you look at the DaVinci Resolve software, you'll see the red dot still going. So I'm still recording on this. And when I look at the timeline here, I can scroll along the timeline of the previous recorded stuff. Now, if I go up here and I say add to timeline, okay? So at this point, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clear out my point of interest. I'm gonna go back to looking at the, right, so that looks pretty good there. Maybe there's gonna be a fight. We'll set a point of interest in there. I'll probably go back a little bit. I'm gonna clear, I'll set a new one, and I'm gonna go right there, and I'm gonna take a different stinger by selecting that. I'm gonna hit run, and I'm gonna run, and it's gonna do that stinger. Then there's different angles from that one. Oh, we'll go there. There's a wider shot coming here. And then I can dump back out to live action. So that actually what it did now is it put it down on my timeline. So I have what I replayed on the timeline. So if I scroll along the timeline down here, it's going to show me where I actually made those edits, meaning it shows the first part, and then it cuts to the other input that I showed, and then the third input. So it's all on the timeline. The reason you want to do that is that you're able to have all of the replays that you did throughout the game back into the DaVinci Resolve project. So maybe at the end of a quarter, you can play back all the highlights that you showed, okay? So I'm gonna go back to the input again, and I'm gonna show you another trick that we have that you can use the DaVinci Resolve Replay Editor. This time when I go to do a replay, and I'm just gonna set a random in point here. So I'm gonna set a POI, I'm gonna hit run, and so we're in there. I'm gonna switch the camera over here to this angle, then switch it over here, switch it to this angle, and now what I'm gonna do is a live speed, and I'm gonna slow the camera down. What I did was I was able to actually slow down there. So I sped it back up, and I can slow it back down again to a stop, and then I can hit dump. Once you dump out of it, you're back to live action, but it puts in the replay that I just did, including the slow-mos. So the slow-mos are gonna be in the replay as they were done, and it shows that it goes down to 15% and then it goes, slower. So what you're able to do is save those replays just as you performed them on the DaVinci Resolve Replay Editor with that slow-mo speed. So what it is this button, live speed, turns this fader into a slow motion fader. So I'll turn it off and bring it back up so we don't change anything that we're doing now, but I can go back to the input button. I'm back into the live action of the game. And again, what you're able to do here is to obviously monitor the progress of the game, but also you can find a point and go back and mark it for later editing or whatever. So right now I got another one coming up, so I'm gonna hit, boom, I hit another point of interest point, and I can go over here and I'll select a different auto stinger. So when I hit run, it's gonna show that stinger. Again, change the cameras to the face off, boom, and then I can dump out of it. Now, the beauty also of doing it this way is that later, if you go back and you say, oh, I had the wrong camera angle when I took it, for further replays down the road, it's a DaVinci Resolve project with multicam. So you can cue back to that to that particular replay and select a different angle in post. So for the post-game show or for the credits or whatever you want to do later, you can do that. Now, the other thing that we were showing is that basically you can ship these little clips out right away. So to social media and whatnot, because it's a full DaVinci Resolve system. Multiple people can be connected to it. But one of the things that I wanted to show is also where I'm getting this media, right? So this media, if I go in here and I import media, I'm getting this from my A10 Mini Extreme ISO, and I happen to name that SSD that I'm using the Replay SSD. And so here's the folder, right? So it's just recording straight into it. So it's as if you have network attached storage, because you do. You're attached to the drive that's on the A10 Mini Extreme ISO, and you're able to pull in the replays directly from the drive as it's recording, as it's doing the growing files, you're able to do this. So it's really quite an innovative way to do replay that's very cost effective and brings replay to a whole nother level of people. And as always, for more information, you can go to blackmagicdesign.com.